we were just taping. We wasn't going live. We were just taping. Now, and everything started to go haywire for a little when it cut off and then it came back on. But I don't think that was mine. I think that was on his end because we was going through his desktop. You know what I'm saying? So if mine was messing up, it would have just messed me up. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But it was all three of us, so it must have been on Vince's end. But other than that, man, I ain't had no problem. But that's a good idea, man. I'm gonna check that out. I appreciate the info.
Jeremy's so stupid.
I have one question for you, brother.
What's that?
For both of y'all,
You don't want to ask them no questions, man. Just ask me.
Stop being such a dick, bro.
What I noticed is a lot of times with the WWE specifically.
Okay.
Like if you look at John Cena.
Okay.
First appeared with the ruthless aggression.
Uh-huh.
Era. With the green Speedos and everything.
Not green Speedos.
Wow.
Then he starts rapping. He got the hip hop aesthetic. He got the spinning U.S. title. All of a sudden, John Cena, he never dropped that gimmick until even now he's still dressing the same.
Yeah. You know what? I done had a lot of conversations about that on other podcasts. Not on mine, but on other podcasts. But I really got a lot to say about that, but I'm not going to say it tonight. Because, but then again, I just might. Because Chris got some things that he wants to talk about, and it might trigger me. It might trigger.
I mean, that won't be a problem.
What's that?
Don't stop there, Ray Dog. It don't stop there. Brother Rikishi.
Okay.
Rikishi, baby.
Right?
Get over. He comes back. Now he was too cool. He's dancing.
Right.
He got the shades on.
Hey, brother, we all know what's up. You dig?
Right.
We all know what's up. Do we really have to talk about it?
Right.
Do we really have to talk about it, bro? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because I went deep last week on the part, me and Vince on a Black and White podcast. I went deep. I went deep. I'd go deep on that podcast, but see, I don't really do it on this one. I kind of talk around it. You dig what I'm saying?
I can dig it. I want to make sure I was.
Hey, for
no, you ain't crazy. You are very, very aware. You know what I'm saying? You're very aware.
I appreciate you, brother. I'm about to check out y'all's show.
All right, brother. Peace.
So I guess I'm not the only one.
Oh no, it's a lot of people.
Yeah. Okay, dog. We back.
Yes, sir.
Jeremy Luckett. I'm starting to think what they say about might be Triple H might be true.
Mm-hmm.
What they say about him, Jeremy?
that he doesn't like niggas.
Hey man, you gotta watch your language, man.
I do. I told you I'm timeless today, man. I ain't trying to get you bumped off the air.
Yeah, man. I'm all my shit, all my stuff been flagged.
Was it? Sorry.
Yeah, because of you.
Because of me? Oh.
So well, I talk about some things too, but I'm blaming it on you.
Okay. That's cool. So
I'm blaming it on you.
Can I resume my statement if I
Well, go ahead, brother. We're sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, we're sorry. We have some technical difficulties. My man just called me and gave me some 411 on some things I can do, and I'm going to do that just to make this thing, a little bit stronger because we really need that because I like going live. I don't like sitting in the dark and taping things and coming back a week later and talk about it. I forget things in a week's time, so I got to talk about it now. So we're going to check that out. Glad you guys were a little patient with us. Now, let's keep this thing going. Chris, you got it. The floor is yours.
Appreciate it, Uncle. So we're not going to talk about WrestleMania because I think we already know about how we feel as a collective. With the exception of Stevie. I mean, I don't know how he feels about WrestleMania, but let's
wait a minute. Wait a minute, man. You know what? It's so easy for you to holler at your boy and ask me anything you want to know, bro.
Okay.
So you don't have to speculate. You don't have to, join in conjecture. You can just come to your boy and say, "Hey, what's up?" That's all you gotta do.
Sir, I don't got that kind of time. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna continue.
Well, then you just can't be throwing my name out there with things that you talking about, man.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna continue with my statement.
I don't know what Stevie think. Ask me.
Well, I'm okay. Well, shit. Since we on the subject, what do you think about WrestleMania? What do you think?
WrestleMania?
Yeah, WrestleMania 41.
Well, you know, put it like this. Put it like this. I look at it totally different than a lot of other people do because I've been to so many of them.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, at the end of the day, WWE, and you were talking about some of the matches earlier,
Right.
how you was dissatisfied with some of the matches.
Mm-hmm.
But the way I look at it is this, man. They have no competition. They have no real competition. So when you judge the matches, you judging the matches against themselves, against their last match or the last show that you saw. So when a person don't have any real competition, you criticize them more. You criticize them more because every show now, you remember back in the day we had maybe 6 pay-per-views a year.
Mm-hmm.
Now we got a pay-per-view every 30 days.
Mhm.
Is it every 30 days, every 40 days, or whatever it may be?
Every month.
So,
Mhm.
Huh?
Every month.
Okay. That's 12 pay-per-views a year. And the only pay-per-views to me that really stand out where you see a lot of different things going on
Mm-hmm.
is WrestleMania. All the other ones are cookie cutter. It's basically the same stuff with different names. Or something been shifted over here for interest, or something been shifted over here for interest at the end of the day. So when you put it in that context, WrestleMania is really the only, and that's not even the whole show because they're doing 2 days now. So now things get kind of monotonous. You can only do so much for so long with so many. You can even WWE. So what are you waiting for? You're waiting for the big match and the big swerve or the big thing that's going to happen at the end. That's all you're waiting for. Now it's just an event. It's just an event now.
Mm-hmm. So can you define that thing you said, no competition? Do you mean that they like WWE doesn't have...
I wouldn't compare WWE to, and I've said this on the show before, and it's not a knock. I would never compare them to AEW. Never,
Okay.
because it's like the Indy 500 compared to a local dirt track across town. Racers, they still good racers. I'm a race car guy. Maybe you guys can understand this, maybe you can't. Like the weekend of the Indy 500, you know, they got another little track on the other side of town that they do a lot of dirt track racing and stuff over there too. Still exciting, but it ain't the big show. It's good, but it ain't the big giant Indy 500 that everybody waiting on. That compare that to WrestleMania. If you see what I'm saying.
I'm glad you
because
said
AEW don't have a big Indy. You know, the Indy cars race 22 races a year. But the Indy 500 is the one everybody wants to see. That's kind of like WrestleMania.
Cool.
So they have no competition.
All right. So with that being said, let me ask him this, because I've been wanting to ask you this for a very long time, Uncle. Okay. So
so what stopped you? It couldn't have been that long because I don't see nothing stopping you from asking me anything.
Well, yeah, you're right about that. But I do want to ask you
care.
this. So,
you don't even care if I step on my toes. You don't even care. Now all of a sudden, there's empathy in your heart. Really?
I mean,
you hear this, Enforcer? You hear this?
I'll let the pinky toe, like, you know, I'll let it breathe. I mean, you need the rest of your toes. But anyway, I'm trying to be fucking serious. Okay, so with that being said, they the big macho,
okay,
right? So you compare AEW to a local race car track, right? No,
not in the aspect that they're little. I'm just saying when you pay your big money, you pay big money. I've been to the Indy 500.
Right.
3 times.
Right.
And I ain't going to even tell you what a ticket costs. And I've been to WrestleMania. I ain't going to tell you what. Well, y'all have been. Y'all know what the tickets cost. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. It is highway robbery. But what I'm saying is the track on the other side of town, it's exciting.
I get
but
it.
It ain't the big show.
So why do WWE feel threatened? Why are the counter programming?
I don't think they are. Why would you say that?
Because I'm on. Listen, Uncle, we had this conversation before.
Okay.
We started the show. Okay.
Did we?
So I'm on. So yeah. Don't do that because I got the phone records.
I think you misinterpreted. But go ahead.
No, I ain't misinterpreted shit.
Yeah, I think you did.
My interpretation is on that damn phone.
Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
So once again, you might not see it, but we do. Like we in social media, we in this IWC bizarre world, whatever the fuck you want to call it, and we feel that WWE always want to show how big their dick is, and you don't need to. You've been around for 60 years.
And what's wrong with that?
Listen, you've been slanging dick for all this time. Like
okay.
So you. So
if they want to sling dick,
you don't have to counter program at all. What did you say?
If WWE want to sling dick, you let them. What's wrong with that?
Listen, if it's not for me, I'm gonna stay away from it.
I want to know where you getting this from about them being threatened by AEW.
You need to stop with that shit. You really need to stop with that shit. Now you've been.
No, I'm not talking about the chatter. I'm not talking about the chatter on social media. I'm not talking about that.
Okay, so we're talking about the.
I'm talking about
right?
AEW as opposed to WWE.
Right.
Is what we call a neophyte. Anybody out there knows what that word means?
No, you don't have to translate.
A neophyte.
What is that?
They just getting started.
It's been 6 years, Uncle.
6 years ain't nothing compared to 100.
Well, I ain't gonna be alive that long, so I mean, shit. Like I'm 42.
You got to remember, Vince started this stuff back in the early mid 80s.
Right.
When he started taking over territories. Here it is, the mid 2025 now. You know what I'm saying?
But like Vince McMahon is not in power anymore, so now.
No, I ain't talking about Vince McMahon. I'm just talking about the conglomerate of that brand is huge. Now, for us, we enjoy AEW, we enjoy TNA, we enjoy WWE, but they ain't on the same level, brother. They never will be. They're not on the same. You got WWE guys. Hell, how many of them became movie stars?
Right. I mean, what's a lot of them?
That brand is still paying me, your boy.
Yeah, and I don't want them. I don't want my comments to hurt your paycheck.
And you don't care. Stop acting like you care. All of a sudden he's all of a sudden he's empathetic, to my very existence.
I mean, what you
expect? I'm my welfare.
I'm timeless. I mean, I'm supposed to.
You hear this?
I'm supposed to care about your paycheck. I am.
I don't want my comments to hurt you in any way, shape, or come on, bro. You should have thought about that 3-4 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I didn't know you that well versus now. So like, I was like, like, damn, I'm up here walking on eggshells talking with this nigga. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm just like, hey, I'm me. But okay, so
I don't know when that started.
Shut the, you know what? Don't say
so I don't know when this shit started. So you got short-term memory. But go ahead.
I do. But so let's get down to the nitty-gritty.
Let's get down. Let's go. Let's go.
The comment section really wants to know about the VAD TV situation or controversy with Swerve and Booker T. And a lot of the people that is tuning in tonight really wants to know, what are your thoughts on that whole situation? Then we can just break it down.
Well, it all depends on how you look at the situation. and you have to be a little bit more specific with the question. Yosef just said AEW trash, no storylines.
I'm not going to even entertain that comment, so we can move on.
Well, I'm going to entertain it since you don't.
Okay,
since you don't want to entertain it.
No,
I think I'll entertain it.
Oh, okay.
Joseph, I'm gonna get back to you in a minute, dog. I'm gonna get back to you. Chris just asked me something very, very important.
I did.
As a matter of fact, a lot of people have been hitting me up on social media about this whole thing. And y'all know I don't do that kind of reminiscing on social media. I don't do that. But by the fact we call this show 3 the Hard Way, it's because we get down to the real nitty gritty.
Yes, sir.
When we come to different subjects, and we don't hold back. At least Chris doesn't. But be that as it may, you know what I'm saying? He is who
I mean, I'm not going to shy away from this shit, and neither are you. Your black ass always be on this platform, be like, Chris, I know you all ass is lying to me. I'm like, you damn right, because I'm not trying to say this shit at all. I'm trying to protect your platform.
Sure, y'all.
You
when?
are so fucking persistent with your
since when?
Since when?
Anyway,
that one day when I first came on here, you were just like, well, Chris, so how you think of my brother? I said, I don't think you really want to ask me that question, bro. I don't think you really want to ask me that. So, you know. But
no, that's the thing about this show, man. We're open and honest. And, you know, I've always told you that, brother. I know how you feel, and that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
You dig what I'm saying? That's cool. You, as a fan, have a right to think what you want to think, say what you want to say, if that's how you feel. That's freedom. And that's what we're about over here. And you know me, I don't make excuses for nothing. I walk it like I talk it. You know.
But as a podcaster, and then also I have to have, you know, I have to. It has to be some respect there. You know,
oh yeah, most definitely. You've never been disrespectful. I'll tell you that.
And I would never
been Wait a minute. I got to go back and check some shows. I recant that last statement. I might have forgot about some. You know, that I can remember. Let me preface it with that I can remember.
Okay, thank you so much. So,
but I'm going to be checking.
Thank you. And I got a checkbook right here. So
I'm going to be checking.
But
as a matter of fact, I can go pull them shows up. So that we get off the thing now, I'm pulling them shows up. But anyway,
okay. So here's the issue that I have with Booker T.
Okay.
So you asked me, you know, like maybe 2 years ago, is he a company man? And I said yes, he is.
Yes, you did.
I'm shy away from that.
Yeah. But
it's gotten a little bit more worse over the years. As a matter of fact, this whole Swerve and Booker T, from my opinion, I really feel that it was blown way
out of proportion.
Like this could have been a phone call. Like if you had a problem with the man, y'all could just talk it out, squashed it, done with it. But people like theatrics, people like to, you know what I'm saying, like blame the other. Oh no, not that. People don't have the same energy. Okay. The problem is with Booker T is Booker T knows that he has not been treated fairly by the WWE in the last 20 years. 20 years ago, I was a senior in high school. So like when you were going against Triple H, this was like 2004, when you got called a nigga. This was like 2005 or something like that. The thing about it is that the reason why I have this strong dislike for your brother is because you have all of this documentary. You are one of the most decorated black champions in professional history. And well, as far as like the black people, whatever. And like I said, I'm sitting here and I'm fighting for you day in and day out. And then when I hear you sit here and say that we need to stop talking about race, especially in a culture that never was supposed to be for black people to begin with. And you sitting there, you saying that you don't give a fuck about the black people. You care about your money. That's fine. Get your money. I'm not mad at you for that. But the thing about
Now,
it
did he actually say that?
he
Or
said
is that the way you interpreted it?
that's the way I interpret it.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I don't remember him saying that.
But this is how Booker T says some things on his podcast that like I'll be like, like what did you mean by that? If Booker T literally came out and be himself and tell us how he really feel, because I am not gonna lie to you, Uncle. After that Triple H promo, Booker T was never the same. I'm not going to even lie to you. Like I'm the type of I'm the person, I study people in their in how they move. And like after that, it's just like, bro, like why would you let this white man sit here and disrespect you like this? Then afterwards, when we was talking about, or when you were talking about the situation between you and Triple H, you sat here and said that you were being a team player. I said you can't be a team player when you sitting here and you calling me a jigaboo. Like that shit was very hurtful. I'm like, bro, you can't sit here and then act like you the brother from Django, and then you want us to celebrate you on Black History Month. I said, bro, I want to celebrate you. You are my brother at the end of the day. I am my brother's keeper. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to support a house nigga like Booker T. I'm not going to do that. And you know, right now, like I'm like kind of tearing up a little bit because like when you say shit like that, I'm just, and you know that black people are like struggling in the mainstream wrestling. Like white people don't even want us to be recognized, don't even want us to show our talents. And you sit here and you say some shit like that. It's bad enough that the black people are not represented like they should be in WWE. Yeah, we got the Bianca Belairs. There's not a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, now we got Naomi. I love Naomi. I love her heel work. But at the end of the day, we need more black representation. We do not need somebody to just say, I'm getting paid for this shit, so I'm going to just speak on the behalf of WWE. What you need to understand is that this shit is hurting us as a race. That's what you need to understand. And until Booker T comes to us and really express how he feels, I'm always going to have this side eye for him. I'm just like, that's just really how I feel.
Okay. Everything you said is, fair and duly noted. But I want to stay on the swerve thing, and I don't want to get off that. The feelings that you have for Booker T and what he said, that's all fair. But these are my opinions. Wait a minute, Enforcer, you had something to say too. Go ahead before I give mine. Go ahead.
I'm listening to Chris, and I remember all that stuff with the Triple H match, the story role. Like they brought up some real stuff that you probably know. You definitely know about Steve Ray, about his imprisonment and how many times they brought that up and stuff like that, and the things they were saying in commentary.
Well, hold on 1 second, Enforcer. Tommy Lee just said WWE, a movie or a soap opera, is Booker's interpretation, just like Denzel Washington in the movie. Tommy, you're right, but you're not right to a certain degree. You got to realize I'm a professional wrestler. And the things an actor goes through is one thing. The things a professional wrestler go through is a little different. Similar, but different. But I appreciate your thoughts. But go ahead,
I was say a wrestler is an actor and a stunt man all in one body.
Well, it's a little bit more than that, but go ahead. Give me what you were saying.
But when it comes to this swerve situation, it got ugly fast. It got real ugly to the point that it's like people now is trying to choose sides, and my opinion is like it's making both sides like we're not worried about Swerve wrestling no more. We worry about
right.
What's next that he's gonna say about.
Hold on a second, JJ Allen, great point.
Oh, I know.
Great point.
That's one of my followers. What's up, JJ?
Yeah, that's who.
That's one of my followers from.
Oh, he one of your followers?
Yeah, he's a big fan of yours. You're a real
Man,
big fan of
okay.
yours.
I was just about to say something, but go ahead.
You know what? Don't stop. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do
You
that.
want to go on? You say,
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. You know, bro.
No, but I like his perspective. But go ahead. Go ahead.
But yeah, like we're it gets to the point that now it's like don't. And before anybody say, "Oh, it's
You
it's
too,
like,
Jay.
no, I'm majority seeing urban minorities in this splitting us in half. Like I said, we're not even worried about Swerve wrestling no more. We worried about what is going on outside. We're not worried like with Booker T. Booker T is getting paid to be a commentator, and he got his own podcast. He's not a wrestler no more. All right, so when we talk about his wrestling, you try to go back to the day of his wrestling. And yeah, it was some questionable things that happened back then, but it's been a lot of questionable things in the history of wrestling, especially.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
So, but the situation with WWE and with Booker is this: Booker to us, like me and Chris, you are at this plateau in WWE where you should be mentoring a lot of people that's like us, and to tell them that the reason why you're not in WrestleMania, this and that, and I'm not gonna go word for word, but I remember it kind of like a little pissed me off a little bit, but like I said, it's getting ugly to the point that we're not talking about Swerve wrestling. We're not talking about the story he's telling or what story he's talking about. We're talking about after a great main event he had. We're talking about what he said off camera.
Right.
We're not talking about what happened in the match. We're talking about he said F Booker T. Tell me what happened in the match.
Right.
No, we don't. No, we want to talk about that. So it's just to me, and also it was right here before that pay-per-view. It was right here in Richmond, both of them.
Right.
T and Swerve was in the same building at the same time at a con. Like
right.
We don't know if they caught up and talked to each other or not, because we don't hear that. We just hear they was right in the same area. One was further down. We don't know. And Booker T kind of brought it up like, yeah, we just in the same building, blah, blah, but we don't know nothing because y'all want the drama. Y'all want two brothers to come bash heads. They could have just squashed it in one phone call.
Well, how do we know? How do we know they didn't squash it?
That's what I'm saying. We don't know. We don't know. If they did say something, we're ignoring that.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it is what it is, but I just Stevie and Enforcer, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm Booker T can do whatever the fuck he want to do. I'm still going to support my black folks, but once again, it has to be that thing called accountability.
Okay, let's take it back in chrono. Let's take it back. Let's take it back.
Fuck DJ Vlad.
Let's take it back.
JD, hold on. DJ Vlad did not start this shit.
Who said he did?
Don't stop it. Yeah, don't start that bullshit.
Who said he did?
My greatest enemy. Yeah, I think I did it. My greatest enemy. He in the comment section.
Oh, what did he say?
He said that DJ Vlad started this, and he was like, "No, he did not start this shit."
Well, no. DJ Vlad was doing his job.
Yeah,
DJ Vlad can't start nothing. This ain't one of them hip hop fucking beefs type bullshit that he's got on. DJ Vlad is a culture vulture, and you should know that before you even go on there. And I think Swerve did. But you got to realize something. Swerve was telling his story.
Mm-hmm.
He was telling his story about the things, the trials and tribulations of what he went through in WWE, and he was venting on DJ Vlad's show. That's how he felt. And he chronicled that very brilliantly, if I say so myself. Now, if he felt as though the reason he didn't get his just due in WWE because he felt as though it was slightly racially biased. That's his story. In my opinion, That's his story. Because even though he's telling the story, and even though he's chronicling the story, we really wasn't there to see exactly how deep it was or how he felt or what things were being said to him at that time.
Mm.
You can only talk about so much. But if he felt that way, that's his story. That's Swerve's story.
And I think the reason why people are attacking Swerve because that thing called tribalism that we have been
Well,
talking about on this program a lot.
You know, really and truly, I think that's bullshit. Really and truly, when a man is talking about something that he went through, just listen and try to interpret. Listen and interpret, because it's his story. Now, if he feels that way, that somebody was racially biased against him in that order and in that organization, he would know more about it than us, because we don't know who he's talking to. He's not going to reveal everything. He really doesn't have to. We don't know who his friends are from this level to this level to this level, and other people. You got to realize professional wrestling consists of so many different people talking about so many different things. And you hear little innuendos here and there. And I think he gave enough for people to read between the lines. A lot of people start to think about things with their emotions that they forget about interpreting what the man is saying without saying it.
The one thing about Swerve, and this is not his first interview.
Exactly.
He said with like 3 interviews, he has not changed a word. He said, like you just said, speaks his truth. And the thing, if you watch that whole interview, Booker T came out one time. That's it. The Booker T part came out one time. Right. That whole interview. All he said.
But you got to remember, he was talking about an angle that was ran or a deal that was ran with when Vince McMahon came out and said the N-word.
Right.
After Booker said what he said. And that was a comeback for what Booker had said earlier. In essence, Swerve is saying, you sit right there and let Vince McMahon, because me, Vince, and Carl on our Black and White, Yosef just said, did you talk with Booker about, man, I don't talk with my brother about this fucking bullshit, Yosef. You think I got nothing better to talk about? Some bullshit somebody going through with another fucking wrestler? I don't give a fuck about that, brother. I'm uptown, bro. I'll talk about that on the podcast. You really think we got time to talk about it? I don't give a fuck about. Let me slow down. When it comes to this kind of shit, brother, I don't care. But I care when it comes to my co-hosts having a problem with certain things they want to vent, and I'm just gonna give my 2 cents on it if that's cool. But going back to what I was saying, this man made me forget about what I was saying. Oh, when Swerve brought up the fact, and I don't know if the shit will work or not. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know.
Yeah, I
don't even know if the shit will work or not. But this is the thing. When Swerve brought up that situation where Vince was talking to John Cena, and then he turns around and says, "What's up, my nigga?" with that dumbass walk that he did, and that dumbass look on his fucking face. You know, it was so funny. I mean, it was so stupid, it was funny. If that makes sense. It was so off kilter, because in my world, Yosef, and anybody else that's out there listening, in my world, if that's me, this is just me talking, and they come to me with an angle like that, you know what I'm going to say? This is just me. Can't we do this in another way? Because I don't see where that's funny. But that's my conviction. That's my conviction. First of all, you got the white guy right here with his cap turned sideways and his short pants hanging off his ass with some sneakers on, saying he's the master of thugonomics. See what I'm saying? That's culture vulturing right there.
Culture vulture like a motherfucker.
Okay? But then, so you need in essence, what are you saying in that clip? That this is how white folks talk amongst each other?
Sir, you
And the brother just happened to hear you and don't do nothing about it? What was that whole thing trying to convey?
You're from Boston. You don't talk like that.
That's not the point. That's not the point.
I'm just saying.
No, I know exactly what you're saying, but when you go into that, you're getting off the point. You're getting off the point. It ain't whether he talks like that or not. Because you've already put him in a African American type gimmick.
Correct. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. When you say when you say people in Boston don't talk like that, you 100% wrong.
I'm talking about for John Cena. So
no, I'm just saying. I ain't talking about him. I'm talking about his character. I'm not talking about him as a coach. I'm talking about his character. You go to Boston right now, okay, and those guys up there, young guys, are throwing the N-word around worse than we do.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously. But that's really not the point. What I'm talking about from a wrestling point of view, when you're looking at a wrestling show, what are you trying to convey when you do this? Because you was talking about Mr. Thugonomics, and then the black guy is walking by and hear you, and you act like it ain't no big deal. Instead of saying, in the real world, if a white man of that stature just said the N-word in front of a brother, he know it's on like a steaming pot of neck bone, and the first thing you're gonna do is apologize. That's the first thing you're gonna do is apologize. If it's me. Or are you conveying that I got so much power, sucker, if you want your job, I can say what I want around you? Which one? These are just the things I'm saying people don't give critical thought to. So that's why Swerve brought that up, because in the real world, what Swerve is saying, I could be wrong, but this is the way I interpreted it. What Swerve is saying is, I wouldn't have never went for something like that, but you did.
Yeah, and I think the overall issue with Booker, I think it's the simple fact that he got called out and he didn't like that shit. And that's why
exactly that's what
going back and forth.
I'm saying. That's what Swerve was saying.
Right. And he was literally defending him.
Right. When Swerve was talking about how he felt about his situation up there, he was talking about he felt as though there was a racial component to why he didn't. But this is his words.
Mm-hmm.
So my brother brought up the racism thing, then Swerve brought that up. Who are you to say this about me? Because you went right with the N-word gimmick right in front of your face.
And not only that he actually added on that he said, these are not my words. These are your fans.
Right.
He said.
Yeah.
Right.
He's telling you, like, listen, your fans has been talking about this for years.
Right.
And you're not.
Like that was 20 years ago, and we're still talking about this shit.
So think about what he did. So think about what he just did. Like you didn't say nothing about this for the past 20 years. So when I said something, it got your attention.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And when it got his attention, Booker defended himself, said what he had to say.
Right.
That, it got blown up.
But what I'm saying is this from the outside looking in. This is exactly what people love to see when it comes to African Americans.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I have nothing to say about another man's truth. Because I don't need on this podcast, on the Black and White podcast, you'll never hear me talking about something in a personal way unless it's got something to do with me or my people. That's it. Everything else is academic. It's just people talking. And that's what people love to see, like a DJ Vlad. And when it came down to, like I was saying on this show, you guys don't remember me saying this. And I will tell Swerve this to his face if he didn't know. You will never be pushed like everybody else. Never. not in AEW, not in WWE, not in no organization. A African American athlete will never get pushed to the total top. When Ron Simmons got the belt in WCW, he was not the focal point of the show.
Nope.
When Kofi Kingston got the belt in WWE, he was never the focal point of the show. When Swerve got the belt in AEW, he was not the focal point of the show. They will always give you a trinket, but you would never be the man. When my brother got the belt in WCW, Sting, Bill Goldberg, all these other guys were still the focal point of the show. So when Swerve put things in that context, and that's what I don't like, is a belt is one thing, but if you're not the focal point of the show, what does it mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because in WWE, and that's where my brother is coming from, you got to get your paper because you know what your company is about. You got to get your money. The Rock was the only focal. Who was that? Bradley. The Rock. What The Rock got to do with what we're talking about, Bradley? You look at him as an African American. They've never pushed The Rock as an African American. They've always pushed him. Nothing against Dwayne, but they've always pushed him as a Polynesian. So please don't insult my intelligence, bro. Don't do that.
They pushed him. They pushed him as a.
No, that's just real talk, bro. Don't insult my intelligence, because when a man comes out as Rocky Maivia with the tiki skirt on, doing the tribal dance and stuff like that, ain't nothing black about that, bro. Nothing.
I was going to say they pushed.
Okay, so get up. Excuse me, y'all enforcement. So please don't bring that bullshit on my show. I'm real. I'm as real as it gets. Nothing against Rock, but you ain't never ever going to see. And this is just real talk. This ain't nothing against nobody, bro. I ain't got nothing against nobody. I just see it. I see it, and I call it like it is. You will never see an African American pushed to the very top in WWE. The only person I think had a chance to do it was Bobby Lashley, but he left before he got him there. I could be wrong about that, but I think they was getting him groomed to get the heavyweight championship, WWE heavyweight championship, and he left before that happened because something was going on with his wife or something like that. Other than that, they put the belt on Mark Henry. They put the belt on my brother, but they never made them the focal point of the show. Never. And the only time I was making this assessment on my Black and White podcast with Vince Russo. You had, back in the day when there were territories, you had more African-American champions way before you do now. You know why? Because in the territories, the black dollar in certain areas, the black dollar, and that's what rules everything. So you saw champions. You know why? Because they put asses in seats with black money. Because at the end of the day, it's green. And that's all promoters give a damn about. Green.
It's still the same way. Like it's the same way now in the indies.
Oh yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Territories and indies are similar. Yeah. I'm talking about on the big shows. Just like I told you guys that you didn't listen. Like my mother always said, a hard head make a soft ass.
I think every black
Chris Dillsworth. You didn't listen. And I told you, the Hurt Syndicate was just going to be on the show.
Fuck out of here. Okay. Yes, we heard people. So just because since we're gonna revisit this conversation.
No, I'm just letting you know.
No. I'm letting your black ass know. No, I'm letting your black ass know.
Oh, you know what?
I told you that they was gonna put the tag team titles on them.
That ain't nothing.
Don't do that. They're going around there. They're fucking up
Tag team titles.
We hurt people. And you still, and your black ass still don't like that shit. You are a hater.
Dog, it ain't nothing. That ain't got nothing to do with what I'm talking about. Is
stop.
They will never let them be the focal point of the show.
They're not.
They're going to be on the show. They're going to have a decent position, and that's it. That's it.
We're not
tag team belts. Oh, come on, man. The tag team belts right now. If you look at a couple of years ago, the tag team situations that was going on in AEW are much better than they are now.
Okay. What's your point?
That the belts don't mean shit right now.
You know what? You need to.
Other than the fact that they got them on them. First of all, what you doing with a tag team belt? That ain't where the money is. The money is up top. You see, they try to sprinkle what's his name? They try to sprinkle RJF or whatever his name. MJF.
Okay, so
see how they try to sprinkle. See how they try to sprinkle that in to make it mean.
So what you think about that? Because it's
it
weird.
Don't even make sense, man.
It's right. It's weird at best, but then
it don't even make sense.
But I kind of fuck with it a little bit because I like MJF. But then MJF,
I like all of them.
But I just don't.
But what it look? But come on, man.
I know. I get what you mean. I mean, it's like going back with the Owen Hart. Like, why the fuck this white man is in an all black group?
Right. It don't make no sense.
Like it doesn't.
I'm like,
but
okay, okay. You trying to get in the club or something like that? You trying to get in the club?
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Like a white dude come up to a black club. You know what I'm saying? He kind of, hey man, can I go in the club, man? You know what I'm saying? And the door guy's looking at him like, you sure you know where you at? You know.
Like,
it's crazy.
I listen to rap music, so I think wait, hold on, bro. Wait, what? You do what?
It's a reason.
Yeah, I mean, I can dig it though. I can dig it.
They say that white men can't jump,
but
I just don't get this, brother. It looked like they just throwing shit against the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah,
they need somebody like your boy writing for the show.
They're trying to make
Stevie. Look at that comment down there by Real Code G. He said that MJF is a DEI hire.
Oh, I don't think so. Come on.
That's fucked up.
Come on, Real Cool. Well, he would be if he joined the Hurt Syndicate. So I gotta agree with him. I gotta agree. Once I think about it, I gotta agree with him.
I don't know who.
I gotta agree with him. You right, Real Cool. Huh?
I don't know who's in the comments earlier that said they don't do storylines. I think they're trying to do a story here because MJF and MVP go way back, and then they're gonna try to bring in one of MJF partners or something to go get the Hurt Business. But like I said, it kind of looked like Owen Hart-ish Nation Domination, especially when he's trying to get in good graces with them by helping them win matches and standing by them. You even heard Shelton Benjamin say, "I like Joe Costanza." I started laughing when he said that shit. I'm like, yo, this fucked up.
No. Real Code G. No, stand on business. If you feel that he's a DI hire, then so be it.
If he gets in the Hurt Business, he would be.
And he got to get
in reverse.
He got to stay in that tan bed a couple more minutes. Then, I mean, dude.
Well, I'm just saying that I don't know where they're going with it, and I was saying I think, in one man's opinion, I think they're just using MJF to give them a rub.
Really?
To make them seem like they a little higher on the show than they are. I really do.
He is one of the top stars.
Wow.
I really do. Because I'm like, they're dormant. Brother, just like I told you guys from the beginning, if you're going to come, look, I can put this stuff together in my head, man. Right now, if they had did it the way I said, they'd be the biggest thing on pro wrestling right now. They'd be bigger than big, and WWE be trying to get them back. If Shaq Khan, what's his name? Tony Khan. What's his name?
Did you call him Shaq Khan?
Who is Shaq Khan?
You said Shaq Khan.
Tell me. Shaq. Who the fuck is Shaq Khan?
That might be the
That's like
G.
a
Is that the
Disney
GM? Is that the GM for the Steelers?
You mean that's his father?
That's like a Disney villain. That's what it sounds like.
No, that might be his dad. Is that his dad's name?
Yeah, Shaq.
Oh yeah.
You,
He said Shaq Khan.
Yeah, something like that, man. I'm not Pakistani. I don't know, but I'm just saying.
that's so racist. This is so racist. Oh
Yo,
my
hold
God.
on. The comments ain't no better. Shaka Khan, Shaq Khan. Y'all ain't right.
Oh, not Shaka Khan.
Y'all ain't right.
Shaka
Oh
Khan.
no, the Steelers GM. I thought he might be Shaq. It's something Khan. But anyway, it's a lot of cons around here, dog. Lately,
It's a lot of cons.
you know what I'm saying? It started with Killer Khan. What about Killer?
Convicts, or what, you know.
But what I'm saying is this: if those guys had came in the way I said they should have, Shad is the dad. Okay, maybe that's what I'm thinking about, Yusuf. If that had came in the way I'm talking about, I'm telling you right now, they'd be over like Rover. Over. They just don't see. I see ethnicity totally different than everybody else, brother. This is an assessment I was making on the Black and White show last week because we had a different conversation, but it was similar. And this is what I was saying. The African-American athlete in professional wrestling. And when people are writing for him or people are coming up with angles for him, they are Omar Khan. You right, real cool.
Oh,
it's the cons out there, dog. I get them mixed up. But anyway,
how was you able to do that?
Well, I don't know. There's so many cons, man. But anyway, what I'm saying is this is what I was telling my boy Vince Russo last week, and my boy Carl Gray. When it comes to the African American athlete in professional wrestling, a lot of the things that we see, and when people are putting together angles and writing for the African American athlete, you know what? If you don't know the plight of the African American athlete, you will never be able to write for him the same way you write for everybody else. You know why? Because your knowledge of the African American plight is not studied. Your everything that you get, everything that you know about the African American is from television. It's from music. It's from pop culture, not the real nitty gritty of the athlete or the person or the community. So the only thing you know is the African American wrestler, not the African American person or people. That's what you know, how they've been presented in the wrestling business. So if you can't think on that level, you would never put him in position, because if you did push him, you're going to push him like you do someone else of other ethnicity. So it's never going to look right. I'm going to tell you, you know how I know that? Because I was a part of Harlem Heat.
Greatest of all time.
And you know why Harlem Heat got over? Genuine. Something that nobody got but me and my brother. And that's why we put it, because they let us do our thing for us. So the way we talked, the way we walked, everything was about relating to who? My people. Not relating to any. It's like we don't care about the world. We care about our people first. That's first and foremost. So to everybody else in the country, we're heels. To people that look like us, we're baby faces. They love us.
Uncle, there is a question that's in the comment section for you.
What is it?
I got in trouble for you.
JJ Allen, he said he has a question for you, Unc. He said, what was your feelings of the ending of Dynasty?
The what?
What was the ending of Dynasty, AEW Dynasty? Did you watch Dynasty?
I didn't, man. I watched a little, but it's been so long. It's been so many weeks now. How many weeks ago was that?
It's about a week and a half ago. 2.5 weeks ago? Something like that.
I wanted to talk about it the week after, but I told you I was busy the last couple of weeks. I wanted to talk about it after that, and I didn't get a chance to. I done forgot now what happened. So hopefully we'll get together on the next one.
That's cool. So basically,
but if you guys understand what I'm saying,
yeah.
You do not see anything authentic about the African American wrestler. Nothing. You see the New Day; those guys are cool, but then when they do something, they want to do it the way they see us, like Crime Time. You see what I'm saying? Those are two great guys. Shad, God bless his soul, those was great workers too. But look at the presentation. They present you the way they see you, not the way you are. Just like the Hurt Business. They're walking around with suits on. That's great. But see, this is the thing. You a businessman or you a killer?
Why
because
not
it's got because you working in somebody else's world. So you ain't there to be friends with nobody, and you ain't there to be given nothing. You got to take what you want because they would never give it to you. That's the mindset of the African American, just like in football, baseball, basketball, whatever. If we wasn't here to make you money, you wouldn't even have us here. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying.
No. I want to keep my life.
I'm just saying, it's nothing. I'm not talking about nobody. I'm just talking about the business of professional wrestling. That's all. Junkyard Dog was the biggest star in the South. He went to WWE and he was just another guy. Butch Reed was huge. He went to WWE. They were good. They made money. I'm just saying, they never got that push like the Iron Sheik.
Mm-hmm.
I remember
Iron Sheik was the number one heel in the business for a minute. Remember that?
Oh, I know about the Iron Sheik. Yeah,
right.
That man was.
I'm just saying, these are ethnicists. He's an Iranian. He's Iranian. But I'm just saying, I'm just telling it like it is. And that's why when something is not authentic, it will never get over like it should get over. And that's the bottom line. I'd rather make a Vanilla Ice guy than make a Jay-Z guy, the way they look at it.
That is true.
That just is what it is. I ain't throwing salt on nobody. I'm just talking about from a characteristic point of view.
Why are you looking confused, Antonio?
Huh?
Why are you looking confused?
No, because it's not confused. That was one hell of an analogy you just said. They'd rather have a Vanilla Ice than a Jay-Z.
Yeah.
You'd rather have a John Cena than a JTG.
Yeah.
Who that? Tommy Lee just said Tony Atlas was over everywhere. And Saba Simba. You're right, Timmy.
Tony Atlas was over when he started sucking toes.
I was waiting for you to say something. That's why I started laughing.
Well, he can't suck no toes in the ring. He can't suck nothing in the ring.
Wait a minute now.
You know
I know. I'm just.
You know what?
I'm just saying. I'm going back to what Timmy said. What Timmy was talking about. Tony Atlas, muscle man, over.
That, though?
No, I'm just saying. I don't know.
I'm just saying. No.
I don't know. Well, I'm just saying. Tony Atlas was one of my heroes. Tony Atlas was one of my heroes, brother. And then he comes back like a warrior, an African warrior.
Shaka Zulu was trending,
and then you got the boogeyman with worms in his mouth, and then you got my boy the Soul Taker. My boy, what was his gimmick? He had a He looked like the guy
Michael?
from the,
You talking
huh?
about Michael?
No, he's talking about Papa Shango
No.
or
Yeah, Papa Shango.
The Godfather.
You see what I'm talking about now?
Yeah.
These characters pretty much look like what? How we see a professional wrestler. You see what I'm saying? Goes all the way to now when James was doing that was cool because he was the only one doing it. Kamala, who's going into the Hall of Fame. That was cool. But how many African warriors can we have in one sport? How many?
I'm still waiting on the one for the Myra Day era, and
You
I'm
know what
not
I'm saying?
talking about Ofemi either.
With a spear.
A spear. The fuck?
That's what Kamala had.
No. You had that in Apollo Crews, and you see what happened to him. They buried him like a bag of rocks.
You know, to make a. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm not throwing salt. I just want you guys to see things from another perspective. As to none of this shit is an accident. It's all contrived.
I like that comment. He said
None of
Bad News Brown. Now, Bad News Brown was more than the character. Or Bad News Allen.
Mm-hmm.
He got the F. He was Bad News Allen, but he kept his character like he was a dude from New York.
It's crazy because he was over.
Okay. Hold on a second. Okay, hold on a second. That's one.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. It's certain people.
That's one.
That's only what I.
We're gonna put that one. We're gonna put that one over against the 25 I just got through talking about.
No. What I'm saying is when he put it up here, yeah, that was one guy that you can.
That's one. And I bet you somebody who put that up there. Hold on a second.
Real cool G.
Real cool. Okay.
Real cool G.
No, he's really right about that. He's right about that, but that's not. We're not talking about the one guy who was still a mid-card guy.
Who should have been?
We're not talking about the one guy. Bad News was bad news, man. I mean, the dude was hell of a wrestler. But I'm not talking about that. I'm just going back to the Swerve thing and the Booker thing. I'm making all these assessments because everything I'm talking about comes out of that conversation. I'm not talking about the history of wrestling and how the African American has been presented in the history of professional wrestling. But if you know the history of professional wrestling, then Swerve wouldn't have been surprised. He would never have been surprised as to why I didn't go on and move on to this. Because that's just the way it is. Unless we open up a black wrestling organization, you ain't gonna see it, bro. You ain't gonna see it. You ain't seen it yet.
I just saw a small indie that does it. That's about it. You ain't gonna see
You ain't seen it yet.
You ain't gonna see a big multi-million-dollar company. Like we came close. I think Master P was gonna buy a wrestling company.
He wasn't serious. That motherfucker was not serious.
Once he walked in the building, he's like, "Oh, I can't do this."
Yeah. Say yes. Stay a fan. That's what you should.
No, I mean at the end of the day,
he tried that shit too. But
yeah, exactly. I forgot about that.
I'm sorry. Let me take that back.
And everybody that's listening to this, I hope you guys can interpret exactly what I'm saying. Booker T got the world title after he had a gimmick of a king in WWE. Yeah, we know that, Timmy.
Talking about.
Hold on one second. Let me go back to.
But he didn't get the main belt.
Right.
See what I'm saying, Timmy?
He got
He didn't get the main belt.
Did you say shut up?
He got the old WCW belt.
Just shut up.
You know what I'm saying?
The belt he already had.
He got the Shut Up Juice Championship.
No, I'm just saying. RJ 123, we understand. Now I'm just letting you know, I hope you do, because I'm talking facts. I love professional wrestling. And I ain't got nothing against nobody. I ain't got nothing against nothing. But I see the business for what it is. I'm not a dreamer. I'm not a dreamer. And if you don't have someone with the knowledge like myself. I'm a history guy. Okay? I know how to put things together. I know how to look between the tea leaves. If I was sitting in a production meeting, I know how to make people look. I know how to talk and explain things to make people look at things the way things really are, not the way they perceive them to be as it pertains to the African-American athlete. And why it would make sense to do this, that, and the other. I ain't patting myself on the back. I just know me. Believe that. Believe that. Don't put me in front of nobody. I will be able to structure it so you would understand it, just like a school teacher. Because as long as you're thinking about it from a professional wrestling state of mind, everything will always stay the same. That's just real talk.
Russell puts Booker T.
Yes,
Or
he
Russo
did.
push Booker.
And see, we already talked about that, Yusuf. He did push Booker, but he never made him the catalyst of the show. You guys are looking at things like a fan, and it's nothing wrong with that. But when you get the belt, you are the shit. That makes sense? When you get the belt, you the shit. And if you're not the shit, the belt don't mean shit. It's just a belt. Here today, gone tomorrow. You want to go down, you want to go down in history as a champion that people remember. Not somebody that just had the belt. It don't mean shit. Oh, I got the belt. Yeah, motherfucker, you still coming out at the mid-card, though.
Yeah, but don't the machine have to be behind you as well?
What's that?
Don't the machine have to be behind you as well?
And why isn't it? If they put the belt on you, why isn't it?
No, I'm just saying if
you're not going to be behind him, if the machine not going to be behind him, why put the belt on him?
That's a good question.
Belt don't mean shit if you ain't the shit.
Okay, so let me ask you about Gunther.
Who?
Gunther.
Okay, he black. That's a German man, ain't it?
Yeah, he's a.
So why we want to talk about a German man?
What you mean?
Or Austrian man?
He's an Austrian.
Or whatever he is, or Yugoslavian. I don't know. What is he?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm just
you know he's from Melbourne. Don't do that.
What?
Don't do that. Don't do that. You know his ass is from Melbourne, Australia. Don't do that.
Okay, but what do you want to ask me about him? Because I like him.
Yeah, I do too. So, like, do you think that they're booking him correctly? And do you think he's going to lose? And
I mean, I don't know about the winning and losing, but they are pushing him correctly. The guy got it, bro. As a heel, he got it. That's how you do a guy. If he's not going to be the main guy, he got to be the main guy of the middle guys. And he got it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's just the structure of professional wrestling. You'll have a U.S. title guy here. You have a TV guy here, and you have a world guy here. And they all got to be the champions of the sector of which they work on the show. That's the structure of professional wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have the guy with the heavyweight belt not being in the main event. Unless, I don't know, it's a big tag team match or something like that. But he got to be the semi-main event or main event, depending on which one is hotter. He's got to be. That's just the way it goes. And if it ain't that, then the belt don't mean nothing. It's just a belt. The belt is the guys that pull the wagon, not the guys. You ever seen those Clydesdales pulling that Budweiser wagon?
Mm-hmm.
You don't see no regular horses pulling that Budweiser wagon, do you? They don't qualify. A Clydesdale is a special breed. That's the only kind of horse can pull that wagon. You got to say that joint like a Nazi. Gunther. I thought he was a German. He had the other kid come out there with his hands behind. Oh man, if they could,
his character is the ring is
I
sacred.
wish they could really push that like real German. You remember the Germans when they had those jack boots?
Oh man.
You know what I'm saying, with the long boots and that hat like that. I wish he could come out in something like that, man. Oh man, what kind of heat would he get? Especially if he could speak German. You know what I'm saying?
You are terrible.
I'm sorry, man. Elon Musk did the gimmick. Why couldn't he?
He's tearing this country apart. He's not even.
I'm just talking about wrestling. Elon Musk did the gimmick, right? So why can't my man come out and do the gimmick? They let Elon get away with it. I'm just saying, man.
Terrible. You are terrible.
Come on, Enforcer. Am I lying?
I mean,
terrible.
He be the number one here in the business.
Come on, man. Shit. Man. And what if he had one of them little riding crops? You know that little riding crop? Them Germans used to come out. That little riding crop, like where you hit your horse with it when they ride the horses.
Wow.
Shit.
Now we're talking about animal abuse.
No, I'm just saying. No, if you know anything about German literature, back in the day, that was one of their deals. They just walk around with them.
They walk around with
and they have them under their armpit. I'm like, he ain't even riding the horse. What's that thing for?
Listen, everybody, I checked out for the evening.
And they'll beat the shit out of your ass with that little riding crop. Tell them, Enforcer, they will beat the shit out your ass with whop. Now, what would be good? What would be good?
I thought this horse was going to.
Yeah.
If you ever saw Inglorious Bastards, you would know exactly what
exactly what we talking about. You know exactly what we talking about. Shit. That's a heel there, boy. Woo! Had a little red stripe on the side of his leg.
It's terrible.
A little red stripe on the side of his leg, man. Come on, bro. Oh my God, that would be so entertaining, bro. Man.
God, terrible.
And he wants Germany to be like it used to be. You know what I'm saying? No. Not today's Germany. You know, the Germany that I witnessed. That ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Oh my! His grandfather was in World War II or something like that. He's honoring him. Oh man, come on! See, I just took that off the top of my head, dog. Right there.
Talk about have Gunther look like M. Bison from Street Fighter.
Yes.
Exactly.
Hilarious.
Exactly.
Hilarious.
With the cape on his back. With that cape, them jack boots, man. Shoot, man, you just don't know.
Rocky IV.
Anyone who opposes me,
he'll come out like Dolph Lundgren in Rocky IV with the music and the man. Don't give us no idea. If I see y'all take all this, you better cut the check here.
And that little riding crop, and before the bell ring, he started beating the dog shit out of somebody with that riding crop.
You stupid.
Man,
like he did.
I remember when I was a kid, and I did an interview, a few WrestleMania. What was it we at? New Orleans? Well, I was going around and I was interviewing a lot of people at WrestleMania at WrestleCon. Mm-hmm. And I interviewed Cowboy Bill Watts. And when I was a kid, my grandmother loved Cowboy Bill Watts. My grandmother loved him down in Louisiana, in Shreveport, Louisiana. And I remember a guy by the name of Waldo Von Erich. Okay? That was like a cousin to Fritz Von Erich. You know the Von Erichs, right?
Yeah.
And Waldo Von Erich, Enforcer, used to walk in the ring with that riding crop. And he would come in with his hands behind his back, you know, doing that little walk and stuff like that. And Waldo Von Erich was the biggest heel at that time. My grandmother hated him. And finally, I don't know about all the gimmicks that led up to it. Well, Bill Watts was the biggest thing in Louisiana at that time. He was a wrestler then. He wasn't the Bill Watts we all know now as a big-time booker.
Mm-hmm.
And Bill Watts finally got, well, it wasn't on TV, but it was the main event, in the house show. He finally got his hands on Waldo Von Erich. And he beat the shit out of Waldo Von Erich. I remember my grandmother was so happy. So I'm interviewing Bill Watts, and I said, because, me and his son is very good friends, Eric.
Yeah.
And I was like, Eric, can I get an interview with your dad, man? And he was like, yeah, man, I don't think he was at the show. And I sit down with him. I said, I said, this is something I've been wanting to tell you all my life. And now I'm getting a chance to meet you. And I don't want to talk about the Mid-South. I don't want to talk about this, that, and the other, and everything else. WCW and all that stuff. I said, when I was a kid, my grandmother thought you was the best wrestler to ever walk the face of the earth. And I said, the night you got your hands on Waldo Von Erich, you should have seen his face light up. He's like, you remember that? I said, yeah, I was a kid. But I said, I remember my grandmother used to watch TV, and she couldn't stand Waldo Von Erich. I don't even know what the guy remember. I just remember his name, Waldo Von Erich. And he had a German gimmick with that little riding crop. And he was mean, man. Oh, that dude was so mean, bro. And he started telling me about how that whole angle came about and everything, man. And I was like I said, that was something I always wanted to talk with him about. Waldo Von Erich. And he started giving me the whole spiel on it. And that's what I'm talking about. That was a heel. Waldo Von Erich. But anyway, guys. Wow. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Because we got to get ready to get out of here.
I gotta run because my other people's on TikTok. I'm like, when you coming on? I say I'm doing another podcast right now. Please wait.
Oh man, you didn't tell me you had another part. You didn't. Oh yeah,
yeah.
You usually do.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's what I said. I'm gonna finish with you guys, and then I'm gonna head over there, and then I'm gonna go in the kitchen and get me some tea so I can stay the fuck up. I gotta do another 2 hours. Unfortunately,
you gotta stay up.
I gotta do. Yeah, this is my 2-hour show I do on Tuesdays.
Oh, okay.
Working podcast in America.
Well, hey, man, if you ever got something going on, let me know.
I'll hit you up.
No. Let me know when you got another podcast to do, and we can just do this one earlier.
No, this is cool. It's just like we had technical difficulties, so I mean, it was cool.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
No biggie.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, man, we appreciate all the banter. We appreciate all the comments. But at the end of the day, we tell it like it is, man. You're not going to get it any wrong. You're not going to get the real representation of professional wrestling like 3 the Hard Way. You're not going to get it, man. We don't talk around. We don't beat around the bush.
Nope.
Talking in circles. Scared to lay it on the line. Brother, that's what we do. I hope you guys understand where we were coming from tonight. No knock on nobody. We just tell it like it is. Professional wrestling is what it is. And I'm going to tell you something, dog. I love it. But I still know it at the same time. What can you do? For my man, Chris Dillsworth, for my man, the Enforcer, I am Stevie Ray, and we are out. But always remember, be one. Peace!